entitlement programs.
That really concerns me because the fastest growing budget in the state of Utah is our entitlement budget. 28% of the Utah budget goes to education. That's all of your state income tax that you pay, okay? And then some of your property tax, pays for education as well. 22% of the state budget is going to entitlements. And it's the fastest growing budget for the state of Utah. Guess what the largest budget is for the federal government? Entitlements. We are becoming a society that tends to enable people. And that's not what it was intended to. Prior to Lyndon Johnson, there was not state assistance. You didn't have what we have now. And he made his first estimate that it would cost the federal government $9 million when he brought his programs in. $40 million later is where we're at, and look at the deficit now. I want to sit on the Health and Human Service Board. I went up, listened to hearings of it this legislative session, and I was very concerned because we're good at putting people on state assistance, but we're really bad at getting them off. We're not writing any exit plans. We're not creating any stringent requirements. I can stand in line, and I think all of you have probably seen this, at a grocery store with someone who has a food card and needs some state assistance, and they're buying things like steak and potato chips and whatever it is that they're wanting, and then they put down a divider and they pay for that stuff with their card, but then back behind it they're paying for the things that the food card won't pay for with cash, like cigarettes or alcohol or different things like that. And I'm standing in the line going, wait a minute, if you have the cash to pay for this, why don't you have the cash to pay for that? I'll never forget it. When I was about 16 years old, I was at a grocery store line, and there was an older gentleman behind me, and I would have guessed by his age, who was probably a gentleman that would have served in about World War II. And he was probably on a meager retirement or Social Security, and he was buying like some hamburger and a bag of potatoes and just a few groceries. And there was a big guy in front of him. Looked and appeared to be capable of working. He was buying T-bone steak and everything else he wanted, and he paid for it with a food card. And I'll never forget it, because this was when I was a teenager. The guy behind me said, I'll be danged. I've worked my whole life, and this is what I get, and because of my work, that's what he gets. How's that fair? Now, I was only a teenager then, but I remember standing in that grocery store line going, that doesn't seem very fair. I don't have an issue that occasionally people need assistance. And there are those who need assistance permanently because of disabilities or different reasons. But it doesn't mean that 50% of our population does. And so we seriously need to create exit plans and stop enabling people. The longer we enable them, the less and less likely they're going to be able to become self-sufficient. So that's some of the things I'm going to do is sit on the Health and Human Service Board and make sure that we pass exit plans and entitlements. So, any other questions that you'd like to ask me this evening? Well, thank you. Thanks for coming, and you're welcome to look at my website. It's statesmaninaction.com, and ask me any questions. And I'm Christy Kane, and I'm asking for your vote. Thank you.